Alex Hormozi is an American entrepreneur, author, and businessman who founded Gym Launch back in 2017. He grew his portfolio by launching several businesses simultaneously like Prestige Labs in 2019 that leveraged his existing client base to scale rapidly. Many entrepreneurs start a business with grand plans to reap the rewards of their hard work and become a success. Some make it and some don't. In today's video, we're going to take a closer look at Alex Hormozi, the man who went from broke at 26 to over 100 million net worth by the age of 31. Entrepreneurship isn't an easy journey for the faint-hearted. Most business owners will admit that they have experienced failure, losses, and doubt in their journey. However, even when they felt like giving up, they chose to hold on and pursue their dreams. Alex Hormozi is one of those entrepreneurs who is glad they persevered. Alex was a little different from your traditional entrepreneur college dropout. He was actually an outstanding student. Alex was the vice president of the newspaper club and editor-in-chief of the Creative magazine, and he was also a varsity player in 3 different sports. He went to Vanderbilt for his undergrad, and just like in high school, he was also an excellent student in college and graduated in just under 3 years with a bachelor's degree in corporate strategy and went on to spend several years consulting for government agencies. He spent 2 years working in the public sector with space cyber intelligence for the military, where he transcribed 600 pages of notes. After that, he thought of going to Harvard Business School, where he aced the GMAT, a standard written test for admission to a graduate management program. But later on, Alex spent days asking himself how having an MBA would help him achieve his long-term goals and become successful. He didn't quite come up with a compelling answer, so he did what any entrepreneur would do: save his money and start his own business. At the age of 23, he had saved 60 grand and started researching a bunch of different businesses and which routes he should take. He wanted to go with either a test preparatory business because he knew a lot about SATs, or opening a frozen yogurt store because back then the frozen yogurt business was in demand. But Alex's passion was in the fitness industry, specifically bodybuilding, so he knew in his heart that it was what he wanted and needed to do. By this time, he didn't know anything about the industry, so he emailed different gym owners asking them if he could work with them for free. Out of 40 people, one replied, and to Alex's surprise, he agreed to have him as a free worker. So he sold all his stuff, including his condo, and drove straight to California from Baltimore. The businessman didn't actually believe that Alex would travel all the way from Baltimore to realistically work for him for free. But with Alex's determination and the drive to succeed, he arrived at the man's doorstep in his gym the very next day. And this is where Alex's unbelievable journey begins in the fitness industry. With a great stable job in a consulting agency, Alex made one of the most challenging jumps in his life, where he left everything and followed his passion. He started work for the business owner more like an apprentice, and he learned every single thing that the man was doing from 4 a.m. until 4 p.m. every day without missing a single day. After 3 months of working with the businessman, Alex was then introduced to another businessman who had just opened his first gym, and this is where Alex's first business would come to reality. He opened his first gym back in 2013, where he spent around $37,000. In the beginning, he slept at the gym because at the time he couldn't afford to rent another place while running a business simultaneously. The entire first month, he earned precisely $4,973, which was also the amount that he had to pay for his rent. Then things started to look really great for Alex. He made 10 grand and then 15 grand by the next month, and eventually made up to $35,000 a month. By this time, he had started to hire people and outsource everything. He hired managers and some trainers, and he eventually wasn't running the gym by month 15. The first location was really growing to new heights, so Alex started opening other sites every 6 months. His goal was to grow his gym business from 6 to 10 locations. Alex then joined an internet marketing mastermind, which was like a ClickFunnels mastermind founded by New York Times bestselling author Russell Brunson. With the mastermind priced at $25,000, Alex took the risk because he was eager and determined to take his business to new levels. During the event, Russell Brunson said something to Alex that initially shocked him but would totally change his perspective about his business. Russell Brunson said that Alex shouldn't be in the gym business. Instead, he should be showing other people how to do the exact gym business model he was running. And the sentence that changed Alex's life was, "I think you have a level 10 skill in a level 2 opportunity." That immediately opened a whole new dimension in Alex's mind and completely changed his outlook on how to run his business. He quickly recognized an opportunity to help existing gym owners by sharing everything he had learned in his experience. gyms. This is where Gym Launch was born, and it didn't take long for the business to take off. He went all in on Gym Launch, and this is the beginning of yet another hard road ahead of him. In the early stages of Gym Launch, Alex met Layla and the two began dating. It wasn't long before Layla joined Alex in his project, and the two began traveling from gym to gym, helping the owners build more sustainable businesses. Around this time, he was approached by other gym owners asking how he was able to not only survive but thrive in a high competition area with a low margin business. While everybody else was going out of business, he bought up their gyms and implemented his system to scale rapidly. He started going to different places with his soon-to-be wife Layla, and they would reach out to other brick and mortar facilities. Alex's offer to any business was that he would spend his money on advertising, hotels, food, and basically do everything for free, and the deal was to keep the upfront cash that he collects, and then afterwards the business facility gets to keep the rest. Alex's offer was totally compelling and convincing that any right-minded business owner would totally accept. On average, Alex would sell 200 people within 21 days, averaging to about 10 sales a day. In the first month of starting Gym Launch and running ads, the consulting program did $30,000 in collected sales, and that is when everything changed in Alex's life because the business took off like a rocket. He was doing all of this together in his 6 gyms, which helped skyrocket his net worth in 2016. Alex eventually scaled up, doing 8 gyms a month, and the highest was around 350 in 1 month. Gym Launch grew to over 24 million per year without any outside investment and grew to more than 40 employees. 13 months into the relationship and countless obstacles, Alex and Layla made the decision to get married. Within 2 years, Gym Launch had serviced more than 2,000 gyms and made over 37 millionaires out of gym owners. Alex reinvested everything back into a second business idea that would further support the same clients, called Prestige Labs, back in December of 2018. Prestige Labs began as a supplement company but quickly grew into another product line for the Hormozis. The company is basically a dropshipping model because Alex realized that one issue that small business owners had was cash flow. Alex's vision was to provide gym owners the tools to get their clients better results and make the gym owners more money through commissions. During this time, he founded and also scaled through the power of leveraging 3 other companies to 120 million in cumulative sales across different businesses like software, service, e-commerce, and brick and mortar industries. But the story doesn't end there. In 2020, Alex founded Acquisition.com with his wife. Acquisition is an online company that helps low mid-market entrepreneurial businesses grow and increase their enterprise value. Acquisition.com now generates more than 100 million per year in cumulative sales across 4 industries. Alex Hormozi's story is one of a kind, and it's proof that anything can be done with a proper mindset and having a childlike curiosity. Some people only know Alex Hormozi as a serial entrepreneur with multiple businesses and a net worth of over 100 million. However, what they see is the fruit of the work that has been going on for years. In the beginning, Alex couldn't even afford to pay rent for the first few months of his business and had to sleep on his gym floor. Unwilling to remain in the same position, he sought mentors and started making changes. If there are lessons that we can learn from his story, a few of them are worth mentioning. Giving up is not an option. If he had given up on that first gym, it would have never become the international enterprise it is today. 2. Speed is king. You can't wait until the ideal conditions to act on an idea. Try it out as soon as it crosses your mind and watch it improve as you move along. 3. You must reinvent yourself. Just like Alex Hormozi reinvented himself and found ways to make things work, you have to shed off the old identities that no longer serve you and embrace those that do. Lastly, long-term thinking is vital in making any business model or idea work in the business industry. Alex's journey as an entrepreneur is still ongoing. He wants to expand his business portfolio so that he works with more than 100 businesses while making 1 billion annually. If he ever achieves billionaire status, he hopes to transfer the lessons he has picked up along the way to others through books and courses available to everyone.